Good morning. I thought I would do a whole entire episode sort of breaking down and explaining my healing recovery post-show and how I'm sort of navigating and pivoting my approach with my nutrition now that I am living in Bali for 4 weeks total. So routine's completely different, food's completely different. I'm eating out twice a day, which is something that I mentioned in my last vlog. Is like, it's not going to be realistic for me to be able to meal prep my own food here. Also just from like a lifestyle day-to-day standpoint, because like eating out as a family twice a day is something that gets us out the house. It's something that we all look forward to, and it's not something that I really want to like compromise at the moment. Not because I enjoy eating out, but it's more the fact of like getting out the house, having meals as a family, trying different foods, etc., and just trying to be more present, which is something that is one of my top priorities at the moment, as well as like recovery. So I thought I would just do a whole kind of video explaining and talking a little bit more about it, because it's honestly been so much harder than like what I anticipated, especially because I really feel like before I left, I found a really good balance with my nutrition. My hunger cues, like I wasn't battling with like any hunger cues or anything like that, but again, that can be just due to maybe staying potentially a little bit too lean for too long, and my like hunger hormones were still a little bit suppressed. So the last week or so, if you watch my last weekly vlog, I have been insatiably hungry, and I have been having like consistent actually I only had 2 binge eating episodes, and by binge eating I mean like I could not stop eating. I was like eating one thing and thinking about the next thing. As soon as I finished that thing, or even before I finished the thing, I would be getting up and walking to the fridge and finding something else to eat. Nothing touched the sides. I couldn't stop until I was like, actually, to be honest, I never really got to the point of feeling like physically that full or in pain, because just nothing touched the edges. And that's when you know your hunger hormones are dysregulated, because like your body's inability to register that you have ate and that you've got enough food in your body and that you're not in a state of famine. So for me, I really struggled with binge eating in my last post-comp last year. From early on, from literally like within the first 2 weeks, it was like an ongoing thing that would happen every kind of like 3 days maybe. I would have like a big binge cycle, and I gained weight pretty quickly, and by the 4 month, I honestly think I stopped binge eating around like the 3 to 4 month marker. I'm currently 11 weeks post show at the moment, so I'm experiencing this a lot later on in my recovery phase, which again, maybe I just stayed a little bit too lean for a little too long, although I have put on now, definitely I have put on some body fat, but even though I have had put on some body fat prior to coming to Bali, it may just not have been enough. And now that I'm like in a more relaxed environment, I'm eating more freely, my body is recalibrating, and it's sending those intense hunger signals because it realizes that we're actually getting consistent food and reduced stress. So it's actually a really good thing that I am experiencing that, but maybe my recovery process was just a little bit delayed or a little bit slower because I was a lot more conservative. For me, like my biggest priority is one, my health. So restoring like my hormone health, making sure I get my menstrual cycle back, making sure that these binge episodes like do not continue on, because if this keeps happening, then you put yourself in a really detrimental position long term, and it can really hinder your relationship with nutrition and with food. So top priority for me is to pull myself out of that hole, and something that is really important to understand is like, if you are constantly overeating, undereating, you're actually delaying like the recovery process, and that's where a lot of people get stuck for years and years and years on end in these patterns. So it's actually better to eat more, but more mindfully and more controlled, I would say. So strategically trying to eat more to help stabilize those hunger cues and to help your body understand that you are getting fed regularly. There's no need to be in survival mode. It knows when it's going to be fed again. Whereas like when you're binging and then restricting, your body's hunger hormones cannot regulate because it doesn't know if you're in famine or if you're eating. So it's really important to have consistency across that. And so what I've done now is, especially that I'm like noticing such a big hunger spike, is having my breakfast 2 hours upon waking. Usually I wait like 4 hours or 3 hours, but I'm waking up and I'm absolutely starving, and pushing that first meal out was something that was actually, I was kind of finding leading me to fail later on, because by the time 8 o'clock came around, I was so hungry. I would eat something. I would have already trained or gone for a walk by then. I was so hungry and nothing would like make me feel satiated, and I would feel hungry for the rest of the day. So I'm eating earlier and having a balanced meal sooner. So I've been having like 2 whole eggs, 2 egg whites, cottage cheese, some fruit. So I've got carbs, protein, fats, help stabilize my blood sugar levels from early in the day and blunt the hunger for the rest of the day, rather than having something small or trying to push out my eating window as far as possible, because it was just biting me in the bum later on around 9 a.m. So 2 to 3-ish hours post breakfast. I'm going for a high protein snack, which is also a tool to help me prevent any hunger spikes leading into lunchtime, because normally by like 10 a.m. I'm starving for my lunch. I'm just going for a balanced meal of protein, carbohydrates and fats previously, and how I would eat at home is high volume, higher fat, lower carb. But over here it's really hard to get like a high amount of protein in when you're eating out. Fording the protein in the morning is kind of a better option, and it's hard to get a lot of starchy vegetables. So you can get things like sauteed greens, etc., but they're usually like covered in oil as well, or you can get salads, but that's just not that satiating, especially when you're trying to repair your hormones. So going for like rice, wraps, bagels, etc., or like burger buns has been a more satiating option, even though it is a little bit less volume. Dinner, same protocol there, and then finishing the night off with a sweet treat. In the afternoon as well, I will have like a couple of rice cakes with some PB2 almond butter, which is just like high protein stripped from the fat, or like some protein chia pudding. One thing as well that I've noticed really difficult when it comes to managing hunger over here is dairy. Like there's not a lot of dairy here, or there's not a lot of dairy to choose from here. So usually at home I would have like loads of Greek yogurt, loads of nuts and seeds and stuff like that, lots of cottage cheese. But over here dairy is super expensive and there's not a lot of it. It's really hard to find cottage cheese. Greek yogurt is like $10 for like 400 grams. So chia seed pudding with protein powder has been a better option, and like I just brought over loads of protein bars with me as well. So those have been like my saving grace. But I'll take you guys through a rundown of my day so I can show you like how my meals actually look. It is currently 9:59, so 10 a.m. in the morning. I've just got back from like a little slow beach walk. It was nothing intense. Amara was walking because her pram is broken, so there was a lot of carrying and there was a lot of slow paced walking. But already for 10 a.m. I've done 6,000 steps and I'm gonna walk down to the gym later. I didn't film my breakfast, but I will show you like some snippets of it for what I filmed this morning for Instagram. I always forget like when I'm recording things for multiple things to get them in like different formats. So I had like my Jerry's protein bread, 2 slices of that with 2 whole eggs, 2 egg whites, some PB2 powder, banana, and some fruit. And again, that is like really to help stabilize my hunger for the day. So like a big satiating breakfast. So that was at 6 a.m, 7 a.m, 8 a.m, 9 a.m. So it's actually been 4 hours since I've last ate. So I'm actually not feeling that hungry, but this is the thing, is like when you are recovering, you need to regulate those hunger signals. And when I'm at home, I eat every 3 hours, like it's a rule. Whereas when you're traveling and when you're on holiday, it's really easy to kind of like forget the time, and then your eating patterns become dysregulated. And when your hunger hormones are already dysregulated, adding that element to it can like obviously worsen it. So that could obviously contribute to maybe why I've been feeling so insatiably hungry and leading to those over restrictive those over consuming, and that like leading to over consuming and like feeling like no food is enough and like I'm never going to eat again. That is literally how I have felt. So now I am going to have a chia seed protein pudding. I just made it with chia seeds, protein powder, kefir, and a little bit of oats with like some goju berries and stuff. I'm going to pair that with some fruit and some nut mix, I think, and maybe a little bit of dark chocolate. I'm going to train in about 2 hours. So midday around 12, I will train, and then I will have lunch after my training session. So that's kind of like the right window, 2 hours prior to training, fuel my body, train without being like having loads of food in my stomach, and then by the time I'm ready to eat, it's probably going to have been another 3 or 4 hours. So I will show you what I'm having. I already prepped the chia seeds like this, so this is for 3 portions. This is meal 2 of the day, how it's looking. I wrote down like a couple of things that I wanted to cover in this episode because recovery is actually super complex with like all of the hormone rebalancing things that can like occur, and it can be really like overwhelming and confusing and hard to understand actually if you've never been through it before. So I've kind of written down a couple of things that I wanted to like talk into and give a little bit more context around. So last time I came out of my reverse last year, like I said, I experienced these high hunger signals very early on, and it was like so frequent. It was like for 4 months straight. Because I'm a little bit further into my recovery now, being like 11 weeks, even though I am experiencing these spikes in hunger and food focus has increased temporarily, this is actually like a really good sign. It's recalibrating, and even though I have like binged and overate and I'm increasing my calories quite drastically just by the way that I'm choosing to eat my food and structure my nutrition now, my body should be able to handle this phase better than how it did if I was like 3 or 5 weeks post show. Because although I wouldn't have fully recovered in this last 11 weeks, some of my metabolic functions will have been repaired from like my thyroid, leptin and cortisol levels should have reduced slightly. Muscle glycogen stores should have increased. In prep I was on like 80 grams of carbs or something like that, so I will be eating like well over 200 grams of carbs now, especially while in Bali. And my body also would have started to restore some sort of hormonal rhythm. Even though I haven't got my cycle back, I've been living in what feels like my luteal phase for 11 weeks, and these signs and signals of like hunger increases, food focus increasing, etc., while they're annoying as fuck and I want to get rid of them as quickly as possible, it is an indication my body is recovering. That increase in food focus and hunger spikes is kind of your body's way of saying, hey, we're recovering, but we're still not quite there yet. We still need a little bit more food and a little bit more body fat. Until you kind of get there, like your body will not fully stabilize. It's annoying and frustrating because some of us want to be leaner than where our body wants to be lean, but when you're healing and when you're recovering, you kind of have to focus on recovering first and going through that awkward transition phase where maybe you do look a little bit puffier or a little bit more watery and feel a little bit more uncomfortable before you can go into like a tidy up phase or kind of build a physique that you feel a little bit more confident in, especially if your body fat does like to sit at a little bit of a higher set point like my own. You cannot really heal your hormones and heal your health in a calorie deficit. So by giving myself a little bit more food freedom in Bali and changing the way that I'm eating, obviously more intuitive eating, obviously having higher calorie foods, a little bit less volume but more satiating foods from more variety, more carbohydrates, this should, in hope, support my recovery rather than hindering my progress too much. Right now, we're not trying to make progress, we're just trying to heal. So when we're talking about like our body recalibrating hormones, we're predominantly talking about estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. In order for us to regain our cycle, our estrogen levels need to increase. When estrogen does start rising again, what tends to happen is you will pull more water into your tissue. When you're combining that and that like fluffy feeling, rise in estrogen combined with increase of carbohydrates, inconsistent intake of carbohydrates as well, because when you're intuitive eating, it's going to be like all over the place. Not likely than not, you're going to hold a little bit more extra water and fluid around like your hips, your butt, your thighs, everywhere that we typically tend to feel a little bit like heavier and puffier in our PMS phase or our luteal phase. So I'm kind of in that like awkward limbo of like almost there, still kind of feel like crap, still need to put on a little bit more body fat, and like I have just been feeling so up and down with my water retention, and like just, yeah, one day feeling like super watery, super bloated, super tight across my like uterus as if I'm going to have my period, and then the next day I'll feel like okay again, and then the next day I'll feel super watery again, and it's just so inconsistent. So by just having a consistent structure across my meals, eating enough, moving a little bit less, making sure that I'm sleeping enough, like I'm really hoping that in the next 2 weeks before I go back to New Zealand, like this will all be sorted. I am heading off to the gym now. I've done a complete outfit change because my other activewear set got absolutely drenched in salt water and sand. We just went in the pool for an hour or so after I had my last meal, and now I am just gonna snack on a couple of Fun Day lollies as I walk down because it is so bloody hot, like so hot today, and I feel pretty lethargic. I just smashed back some water and now I'm just gonna, I mean it would be better probably if these did have sugar in them, but they don't, but just to give me a little energy boost and a little bit of excitement to go train because there's no aircon in there, and again, like it's already so bloody hot. Maybe I'll try record some training, maybe I won't, we will see, and then after I'm gonna go for lunch. These are the stairs that we have to walk up every day, up and down with Amara. Today she actually did them all by herself, bless her, when we went for the morning walk. This will be my 4th training session of the week. At the moment I'm not following a program or anything, I'm literally just going in and kind of doing what feels good. The gym facilities that I've been using, I've been going to 2 different ones, and they both kind of have like limited equipment and machines, so I just do what I can. And also because it is so hot and there is no aircon, like bigger lifts can feel pretty uncomfortable, so again, like go in, see how I feel, see what equipment's available, and I just kind of work in a reps and reserve system, so 2 reps away from muscle or technique failure. I've honestly been doing a mixture of rep ranges, depending on like how much time I want to spend in the gym because it is so hot. So sometimes like for some exercises I'll do a little bit heavier weight but lower reps for things like leg press, hack squat, etc., just so I can kind of get it over with. And then if I'm doing like shoulders and stuff, I'll do kind of more like 15 reps but like 5 kilos for example. But yeah, just a case of like doing what feels good, moving in a way that feels good, been really on top of my daily steps, and making sure that I'm averaging that weekly average of 10k steps, which for me is quite a big reduction. I think before I went away my average steps were like between 14 and 16k, so 10k for me is mellow, but because it is so hot and I was finding I was getting so exhausted and I'm so hungry and I'm still recovering, like 10k is probably really good for my body right now, to match kind of like, yeah, where I need to be in terms of recovery. I am so sweaty. I had such a good session though. I trained legs and I don't know if you can see because the exposure. Now you can see like all that shininess is literally sweat. So this is my lunch. We have edamame, corn, tomato, cucumber, boiled egg, teriyaki chicken, some slaw, and some white rice. I have to use the mic because sometimes when you sit in cafes, the background music, like the songs and stuff, because copyright, you can't upload it to YouTube. So we have carbs, protein, and micronutrients. And don't be afraid to ask for changes. Like when I ordered this originally, it comes with coconut rice and like half the amount of veggies. So I actually just asked them, can I please get extra vegetables and change the coconut rice for white rice? And like most places are super like accommodating of that. So this is a really good meal to have, obviously post-training, because replenishing your glycogen stores and your body's going to use up those carbohydrates. It's also going to help with satiety and blunt the hunger as well, rather than just having like the protein and the vegetables. I'll probably be hungry like in a couple of hours, which is what I was kind of finding was happening as I was having all these vegetables and stuff, not that much of them, because when you order them at restaurants it's hard to get them to give you like the volume that I'm used to personally. So my body was just like burning through it, even though I was like ordering kind of 2 dishes. It just wasn't enough. It was too like salady, not enough starchy carbs. So now I'm just having like less volume, but more like satiating meals. So this is my lunch, and then for dinner I think I'm actually not going to have carbohydrates. For dinner, I think I'm just going to have like gado with sauteed chicken. So I've got my protein and my macros, and then I'm going to have a protein bar this afternoon. We'll see. I am trying to like balance all my meals as best as possible. Just having one of these to finish off my meal, because I always feel like I need something sweet. It only cost me $9, and the little chocolate that I had is honestly a lifesaver, because there's like all these donuts and stuff in there, and after I ate the donuts, after I ate my lunch, I really wanted to get a donut. I always just feel like something sweet after any type of savory meal. So dark chocolate is like honestly a lifesaver for me, so I'm really glad that I had that in my bag. I'm just gonna walk the long way home, up and around the hill, because Dad's watching Amara for a little bit. And I just try to like accumulate as much steps as I possibly can in any opportunity, just because some days like I really can't get many done. Like the other day I think I only did like 6,000 or something. So to keep that average up every time someone is watching Amara, or she's having a long nap or something, and I can get out the house and leave her with Dad, I just try make the most of the time that I have available and like be as productive with it as I can. It's 4 p.m. Me and Mars are just chilling, playing iPad games, having a little bit of downtime. I got caught in the downpour, but it's time to have a snack. I'm really hungry now, so Fiber Boost bar it is, and I'm so sad because I've nearly run out of them, so I'm gonna have to wait till I go back to New Zealand. I just finished my Fiber Boost and I'm still a little bit like, I'm still a wee bit hungry, so I am going to have 2 rice cakes with a little bit of peanut butter for healthy fats and some carbs. We are having dinner now. We're actually at the same place that we were at last night. There's live music in the background. I am having a fresh coconut, and then I ordered the same as last night, which is chicken quesadillas. My favorite thing is to scoop the coconut from the inside of the coconut. It's the best part. But yeah, I'm having chicken quesadillas again, because it is just like a nice light option that is like pretty balanced. You've got your carbs, your protein, your fats, and your fiber from like the beans. Oh, and I think it's like 7 p.m. So last time I ate was about 3:30 when I had those rice cakes, I think. This is what I got for dinner. It's the chicken quesadilla. It's got a side of guacamole, salsa, some feta, and there's some cheese inside it as well. Yeah, it's probably, I would say, 600 to 700 calories for this, but it looks like a nice satiating meal. Yeah. I have no idea what this is, but I thought I'd give it a go because it's only 80 calories and I fancy a sweet treat. I'm eating this thing that is a cheese bar. It's actually really nice.
Ice cream?
I think it's nice. Kind of. It says cheese curd bar. It's only 80 calories.
Oh, yeah.
It's low calorie.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, so I stuffed up that cream cheese bar. I'm so annoyed at myself because I was like going through all the freezer section trying to find like a little sweet treat. Could have had like a mochi or something like that, but I just saw that cream cheese bar. I saw 80 calories and I did not check the serving sizes. Amara ate probably a third of it, but it was actually 3 serving sizes. The serving size was 20 grams and the bar was 60 grams and it was 80 calories per serve. So it was actually 3 servings. I ate probably 2 servings. Amara probably had 1 serving. So it was actually 160 calories. Not really that much of a big deal, but still like annoying. And I'm still not like satiated. I still like have that urge to like want to eat sweet stuff. So I'm just eating the rest of a packet of Funday lollies that I had like half opened. And that's something that I'm working on as well, as like instead of going to bed thinking like I need to wait to the next day, till I can have food again because I've probably had my calories today. I'm trying to actually like not do that and actually lean into my cravings, but do it in a controlled way, because I feel like the more I tell myself I can't have this tonight because I'm so used to it from like being in prep, I can't have it tonight, I have to wait till tomorrow. It's like that restrictive mindset that's like causing me to overconsume, and then I'll have like one sweet thing and it will just like send me, because I'll be like, oh, I can't like have this much again tomorrow I can only have like a tiny amount of the thing that I want to have, and it's never enough. Like it never feels like it's enough. So I'm trying to just like be mindful, pay attention, like acknowledge I do still have like that sweet craving. I do want to have something to finish off the night and like sign off for the night. So yeah, I'm just having a few, like half a packet of Funday strawberry and cream lollies, which I'm so sad in my last packet of, I think I've got some sour ones left, but I don't really love the sour ones. But yeah, this wraps up my day of eating. I hope that was insightful. I finished everything on my plate for absolutely everything. I did not leave any food. I'm not full at all. I'm not like super starving, but I'm not full. So yeah, finished off everything. Calorie wise, I honestly have no idea how many calories I would be consuming, but I would say roughly probably like 2,600 ish to like 2,800 if I was having like a guess.